and then play a particular role. And in the marriage, apart from that, it's been a contract. They generate wealth, money, resources together. So when when a man and a woman decide to marry, they start acquiring property. Knowingly or unknowingly. Some come in the form of money, others come in the form of physical property and moral property. So what happens is that we see these properties as, we call it matrimonial property. Matrimonial property, meaning property that is being generated in the course of the marriage. But you realize that there are some individuals or married couples, they make their property before marrying. And so that one too, you should be able to earmark those properties. That ones are, we call it personal acquired property. Because under the Constitution, Article 18 guarantees right to own property exclusively. So the fact that you get married doesn't mean that that property that you acquire before marriage becomes part of your matrimonial property. No. It is yes, it's your solely right, exclusive right. But those that you acquire during the course of the marriage, then we name them as matrimonial property. And then everybody's contribution is recognized in law. So when you marry, you start a building project. Now let's look at the contribution. In some marriage setting, in the partnership, the man becomes the breadwinner, and then reduce the woman to the homemaker. So maybe a housewife, the woman is not generating any income, but at the end of the day, the woman is also contributing indirectly by taking care of the children, nanny, and then maybe supporting the man indirectly to have peace of mind, to complete and generate wealth. Those instances, the property becomes a matrimonial property because both parties have decided to do a joint and then private ownership of partnership ownership of these properties. So these are how the law looks at how matrimonial properties are generated.
So in the case of a divorce, can a spouse contest the property that was acquired, the personal property? Can a spouse contest that in the case of a divorce?
Yeah, definitely. At times you can.
What I acquired before marriage, my spouse would contest that if we happen to divorce.
Yes, so you have to try. You know, in divorce proceedings, you throw everything to the judge because the court, the judge is there to do what is fair and just. So we don't have a one straight cut way by which judicial decisions are arrived in sharing of properties. It's case by case. So what you do is that you may not contribute whatsoever to the acquisition of the property, or when the property was acquired before the marriage. But then you can look at the face of your property, your wife or your spouse, and the judge and tell the judge that, look, settle this property on me as part of my financial provision or alimony. You know, the man had about 10 houses before I got married to the man. But then I came into the marriage, contributed so much, but I don't have any contribution to those 10 properties. Now, when I'm leaving, I can tell the court that, my lord, can you give me one of these 10 self-acquired property of my husband or of my spouse? Because I've also come to contribute something to the marriage. And then I can't leave. The man have introduced me into a lifestyle, a style of living where first I was living in the rural areas, in a madhouse. Now he decided to bring me to the city, introduce me to living in a 3-bedroom apartment. I should not suffer and go back to my former state. So if he has 10 houses, then give me something to continue. To at least everybody know that after divorce, I've maintained my standard. Than to then say that, look, I brought you to Accra with nothing, you go nothing. No. So you always have to push your case. You also have to convince the judge why you need those property. So it's a matter of convincing the judge, putting in a lot of evidence, and then substantiating your allegations for the grounds of divorce, and then convincing the court that when it comes to means, both parties will swear affidavit of means. How much property do you have? How much you generate? How much you spend? Then the court will do what is fair and just. The key is that the judge has to do what is fair and just in granting the various reliefs in terms of alimony and the financial settlements.
So now Tell us how property is typically shared between spouses when there's a divorce.
Now, we have constitutional provisions, which is very supreme.
Okay.
The Constitution says that once you get married and there is evidence, substantial evidence, that the woman contributed equally to the acquisition of the matrimonial property, then in divorce, there must be equitable sharing of those property.
Okay.
So if it does have contribution, then in sharing, it must also have half of the property. So the key issue is that how do you share? It's equity. So if it is about the house and you acquire this out during the course of marriage, and at the end of the day, now the court is to share. The court will now need evidence to prove that how much was your contribution. Maybe I bought the land, I supported you with means. If you are able to give reasons and be back with evidence to the court that this is my contribution, then the court will give it to you. So some can go and say that, look, I contributed 30%, 50%, 80% based on the evidence. If at the end of the day the court is confused, but the court is guided by evidence. So the rule of the game is evidence. So in a marital setting, try and put everything
on paper.
Documented evidence is the best. Then if you think that you don't have to document, get people to testify. At times when you are going to do certain things, tell some people. Oral evidence, that's witnesses. So you can get people to come and testify on your behalf that yes, this property was jointly acquired. So when there's a joint property, it's shared among the parties in accordance with their contribution or equally if there's evidence. If there's no joint property, then what you can do is that the court look at the spouses who has made a lot out of this matrimonial venture. Then the court will say, look, at times you have situations where a man goes to court and asks the court that, my lord, let the woman compensate me. Yes, it happens.
Does it happen often?
Yes, because you see, spouse, the law normally doesn't use the word man or woman, it says spouse. So if you are married to a woman, you know, you are in the course of the marriage, some women are very they are so good at doing business. So you're a civil servant, you take your money, you give some to the woman, you start your bar business, and then all of a sudden the woman is starting expanding from one bar to restaurant.
An industrious woman?
Yes, well, then you keep on the service every month, 1,000 Ghana, every month, 1,500. 10 years after the marriage, the woman has acquired a lot. He's building. And then he has made a lot of money. Now is the time for divorce. You, the man, have to go to court and tell the court that, my lord, in this divorce setting, I think the woman should compensate me. I need alimony, property settlement, a financial provision of woman. And then you give evidence that, look, this is my means. This is how much I earn every month. This much how I spend. But when I got married to this woman, this is how. So far, the woman I've gotten to. Therefore, God give me one of the houses that was built by the woman. Let the woman give me 50,000 Ghana cedis. So it is not always that people go to court and think that once there's divorce, the man has to. No, it is always not the case. But men, by nature, we don't want to insist on our rights. You know, it's even very shy. People think that when
a dent on your ego.
When my wife died, I have a daughter. I decided to take over everything, including her panties and everything. Her personal belongings. I took over everything.
And the family allowed that.
What is their interest? Because my wife did not make the will. So I just went under the PNS 111, and he said the personal effect of my wife's
her belongings
belongs to the husband and the children.
Okay.
So I took everything and I've given it to my daughter, including this fashion shop and everything. So now I've just kept it. My daughter is around 16 years. Okay. I'm waiting. Then I'll just tell her, Maureen, this is for your mother. Take it.
As it should be.
But some men will be like, oh, Bema Kotobuku. And and then you don't disclose it to your wife, your friend or somebody who is aware will take the property. There are a lot of people who have died and they have refused to disclose their property to their spouses, and today they can't find the properties. Friends have taken over. These caretakers have taken over in the states.
Right. Also, what's the danger of acquiring a property and putting it into your spouse's name? What's the danger in that?
You can look at what we call equity. You can't just give him the opportunity to own to the name by the intention to build something we call trust. It should hold, yes, it should hold it in trust for you.
Yes. What's the danger in that? Yes. Say, for instance, a man will acquire properties and put everything in his wife's name. What's the danger in that when there's a divorce?
The danger is that, what is your motive? Why did you decide to do that? Is it you want to do what we call money laundering?
Okay.
You know, you steal state property, or you have acquired the property illegally.
Okay.
So you don't want the property to be in your name. Then you pay consequences for that. Because if the woman gets to know that you are doing money laundering, you just want to cover up. You know, you don't want people to trace your source of income. So everything that I've acquired, it says my wife. Everything my wife. Then when there's divorce, the woman can rely on that evidence. Because documentary evidence, it outweighs oral evidence. Say, my lord, paper don't lie.
That's it.
All these properties are in my name. Can you go and tell the court that, my lord, it's because I don't want the government to know that I acquired this property. Then you know that you don't have the court will never support illegality. Okay. So that's the danger.
Okay. Also, do these factors affect Muslim marriages? For instance, where the man has the maximum benefit of 4 wives. In the case of a divorce, what happens to the spouses?
The law of Ghana supersedes the Islamic property sharing methods.
Okay.
So the moment there is a divorce and you go to court, then the Matrimonial Causes Act,
okay,
and the laws governing property sharing take precedence over the Islamic sharing of property. So the law of matrimonial property will take into issue the contributions of the spouse, and then the ownership principle, and it will tell the husband that this property is for the woman. Gone are the days when the customary practice where women are seen as they don't have the right to own property. You get married, and then the husband takes care of you. So whatever comes out of the marriage, it is the sole property of the man. It's gone. The constitution has taken over, and currently the 1996 constitution and then the Matrimonial Causes Act is the law that governs the sharing and distribution and ownership of marital properties in Ghana. Okay.
So why is it important, especially for married couples, to write a will in Ghana?
The writing of a will is so essential, not only for married couples but everybody. But with married couples, it is good because you want to know what should be done to your property after your death. So it's our intention that you want, when you are no more, this your house, this your business, this your project, whatever you have acquired in this life should be shared after your death. It is very important, because at times the painful thing is that you may acquire so much property as a wife in your name, and then when you die, the man who has never contributed, or maybe you are not in good terms with the man, now comes and take big share. Or then some family members who you don't see eye to eye, or they have never contributed nothing to your life, come and say that customary successor, and then they start dealing with your children in a while. So it's better to make a will. If you're a husband and a wife, you can make joint will. Okay. And a joint will is that you call your wife, the husband call the wife, the wife call the husband. You sit down and say, look, these are our properties, personal self-acquired property. Please, we don't share family property. We don't share property that doesn't belong to you. Self-acquired property. If you are able to identify it, you can sit there and say that, look, what do we do? Let's give all these things to our children. Let's give some to our mother. And then you do a joint will, sign, and then after the death. But I advise people that these days, please, it's becoming more contentious in the probate courts, and then it was because wills are being altered here and there for ordinary activities. We have lawyers who, after the death of a person, some family people can come and see the lawyer, and then they'll backdate the date. You know, they have been doing it.
Yes.
Lawyers have been getting a lot of problems. We have a lot of cases where lawyers have been engaging fraud when it comes to sharing of properties and wills and everything. So, to me, the best thing is that once you are alive, please do a gift. Gift. Like what I've done to my properties. I don't want to write a will, because writing of a will, after you've written a will, it takes effect after your death. Now, at times you can write a will, and then at the end of the day, in sharing the property, things will change in 10, 20, 30 years' time. In my instance, my father wrote a will in 1975.
Okay.
And that time I was only I was born in 1968. Now he wrote a will and said that the son who do law should take A, B, C, D property. And at that time, my father had in mind my senior brother who is in London. I started doing law, but now decided to abandon the project and decided to go to do this thing, teaching.
Okay.
Now. So in 1995, he died in 1995. He didn't go
alter
the will. So when they read the will, I was doing law. So when they read the will, they said, "Oh, this is my son." They said, "Oh, then the person who's only doing." My father had 14 children. I'm the only son who is doing law. At that time, I was in first year in Legon, the law school, law faculty. So everyone said, "Oh, it is Morris." But if you look at the will, 78. I was on, but they read it. They're looking at the will. Who is doing law? They said, everybody said Morris. Then he gave everything to me.
So in this case, if your elder brother wanted to contest it and said that at that time he was doing law, and at that time your dad meant him, what would have happened? Could he have contested?
If you contest, the question was that the will said, my son, dad is a lawyer. He's doing law and he's a lawyer at that time. And now you are a teacher. And then I'm a lawyer.
You lost the fight.
So at times, the will, if you make it, you don't go and review it. That's why you can make a will today. 1 hour time, you can go and change it. But me, I prefer that Ghanaians, let's start doing what we call, these days, what I've done, what I've decided to do is that when I'm writing a will for you, I'll add video evidence.
Okay.
I want you to come and sit at my chambers, and whilst I'm videoing you, then you tell me why you want to make the will, so that at least if the paper fails, the video.
There's video evidence.
But if you want to avoid this hulubalu of going to do probate, challenging of the will, and then it's forged, it's not forged, and then at times the will, the court will tamper with it or family. Simple. Gift whilst we are alive.
Right. And so in gifting, how do we go about this? We go and see somebody and say, "Oh, Morris, I'm gifting you this water bottle." How do we go about it?
We have two types of gifts. We have the customary gifts.
Okay.
So with the customary gifts, what you need to do is that you make the gift and you do publicity.
Okay.
Meaning, when you are giving your house or your land to any of your family, your kids or family members, please.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, is that okay?
Okay, fine.
You try and bring non-interested witnesses.
Okay.
So you make sure that you make
Gift him publicly.
Yes. You make publicity of it, and then everybody in the family or who will be interested in that property knows that you have made a gift.
Okay.
But then you can do what we call the gift under the Gift Act. That one is like a venture.
Okay.
It's like a venture. You make a gift. Then you make Morris Ampao, so.
Okay.
I own this property, and because of the love of my children, A, B, C, D, I'm making a gift to them. It's also in the paper form. You sign it like an indenture, and you transfer those properties. See? But currently, I think that the best thing you can do as a man, if you have all your property, give everything to your children.
Right.
Your wife, tell your wife that you can stay in the house. When you get married, you leave, because the most painful thing is to die, and your whilst you are dead and you are watching the whole scene.
How would you be watching when you are dead?
You watch. Spiritually, you will not sleep, because it's painful. And you know women how you love. When the woman is in love, can you imagine my wife, my 8-bedroom apartment in Kumasi, then I'm dead. The woman too is 30-something years, so I'm 50-something years. You know, very beautiful, Celestina. Then me, I'm dead. Then the woman cannot stay. Even whilst I'm alive, somebody is interested in her. I know some pastors and chiefs, when they see my wife, they are doing then, granted, God forbid, my grandpa is dead. Then my woman cannot stay. Falls in love with one guy. He comes into my previous matrimonial home.
Maybe a pastor, a young pastor.
I would have to crowd kill me. Now, he comes to my matrimonial home with this, my children. You know, when the woman is in love, they want to keep and preserve their marriage. So when the man starts, hey, your children don't respect. My own children in my matrimonial home is being denied a peaceful enjoyment of their father's property. And the man who felt threatened and insecure, then the time the children want to assert their right, that this is their father's property, then the man says that so if you don't take care, because that property, I will it to my wife. My wife can send my children to the mother and save. And then you have new children with this boy who is already chopping my wife. And then he will come and sit at the comfort of my bedroom and my television. No. Please, all men, it is painful. Give everything to your children. Look, call your wife and say, baby. Say, yes, darling. Look, why are we struggling in this life? It is about what? Nothing. Let's give everything to our children. And then so that if somebody, me as I sit here, if you sue me in court, that's why when people sue me, I laugh. There is nothing in my name. I've given everything. I'm propertyless. It's me. That's why I speak anyhow and on video. If you sue me, you get nothing. Everything I've given to my wife and my children. So if you sue me, go and then take the property from my children. When you do that, you see, when you give everything to the children of your wife, what is going to happen is that the woman will now know that, oh, this, my husband, has nothing. Therefore, even if my husband is going out and looking for a side chick, the wife will say at home, so it's better to call your wife and let your wife know that all these properties, you are willing it to the children.
Right. So
if he's a good woman after death, he should enjoy with the children, but the moment he marries, he should leave the house and go and join the husband, new husband. That's what I think there should be a law. Parliament, I'm calling on Parliament on this platform that we should make a law that every married woman who is married and the husband dies, and then there's a property. The moment the husband dies, if he decides to go and marry, he should leave the matrimonial home and allow the children to take over. It's very painful. Same applies to the man.
Okay, so now that you've taught us that we need to be gifting, we also need to put everything we have into our children's name. Can you also share with us some legal steps to take to ensure that our will, if we do not gift, our will is valid after death?
Oh yes.
While we are alive, what steps should we take?
Once you are alive, you can do two. You have two types of will. You have three, but two. The other one is armed forces will. The armed forces people, they have a way they do their will. They're called to don't allow them to write them. They can, the armed forces people, they can die at any time. So in the course of dying, they can even put something, write down whilst they are dying in the sand. They can write, "I give my house to my wife." It's a will. When they reach it, but once you are alive, the court says that you can do what we call samansel. And samansel is when you realize that you are about to die. And do you know that when you are about to die, everybody knows in law?
No. Tell us.
I bet you have not died. You have not passed away before.
But have you passed away?
I can tell you. Look.
How do the people know?
The spirit of death will come and knock on your door. You start dreaming. Then quickly you start losing touch with reality. Thirdly, you start having some sensation. Then fourth, you realize that you start talking anyhow. Go and ask everybody who is dead. They're already dead, so where do you see them? But you realize that when somebody who is closer to you is about to die tomorrow, today, the conversation that you have with you When he dies, they'll say, it makes sense. Because also, like I said, you see the hurry. You see that person making gifting of things. Oh, when you want anything, say take. So anybody who have any encounter with somebody before he died, my wife like this, my wife, oh God have mercy upon me. Today, my wife died 7:30 today, 18th May, 18th February. So 18th February 2021. So today is exactly 4 years, and by this time it's what was the time?
It's 9:24 now.
I was at the medical center, and they were pushing my body, exactly 4. And 4 days before my wife died, when I went to see her, she looked into my face, and she refused to look to my face for the second time. I also to look at her face, she refused, and what he said is that lawyer, I say, Garbrah, Kobi, Fansabra, and I gave him. I said, Yamin Shirao, Yamin Enkanho. And said to them, Eyamunum Subulu. Namunye Kwalapapa. That's the last word. But that he thought he has died out of COVID. He thought, but no, it was pneumonia. So, anybody who's going to die, you can't tell me that you don't know. God is not that wicked. He will give you a signal. But because the person doesn't want you to know, he will not tell you. But everybody. So, when you are and then some people are so fortunate that when they are about to die, they start sensing, that's the time you can make a will.
Okay. That's
the traditional will.
Okay.
So when you don't sense death, you can't make customary will, because that one is not documented, it's oral. So when you're alive like this, the way I'm alive, I can't make customary will because I am alive. But when I've sensed death, I can call my children, I can call my wife, and then call anybody who are running and say, baby, I'm saying, this is real. You see, this is real. And that one, because I was bedridden, about to die, the court will recognize that. I said it. I made those declarations while I was about to die. I made it in the presence of witnesses.
Okay.
So after the burial, before the share of property, they will ask those people who have gathered. Anybody who is here when the man was about to die, did the man tell you anything? That's right. That's the summons. So Pachobe will not say. That is what you call summons. Okay. Then we have the formal will, the Wills Act, where that one, there are a lot of technicalities. Okay. You must be 18 years and above. You must understand what you are doing. You must share yourself acquired property. You must make sure that there are witnesses, and then you make sure that those witnesses can what? See. Don't go and bring a blind man to come and sign a will. He's not seeing anything. Blind people cannot testify, but deaf and dumb can testify. That's why it's better to take a deaf and dumb person to the stadium, and when there's go, but the blind man sitting there, when they go, what is he saying? So if you go and bring a blind man to witness, the court will say that you are joking. He's seeing nothing. So it's better to be mumu. So, you can see the thing. After all, if you are mumu and they are chopping your wife, you see. By blind, how will you see? May God forbid us for us to be blind. Let us see until we die. So witnesses should be people who can see what is happening and they know that you are signing the will. Today it's interesting. I'm ready for you.
What happens when? How should property be shared when a person dies without a will? Before you answer, our phone line is open. The screen, the number is scrolling on our screens now. So call us with your questions. Lawyer is here to answer them.
And that is when the person have not made a will.
Yes.
They are the customary succession.
Okay.
No,
so how do we share?
Currently, the law, if you don't make a will, government and Ghanaians will make a will for you. If you don't want to share your property, if you don't want to tell us how your property will be shared, then trust me, PNDC law will take control and share it for you. And If you don't make a will, what the court will do is that first, please, when somebody dies, let's go and do search. That's the first step. Go and do search at the registry of the courts and find out from any lawyer that is closer to the person who is dead to find out whether the person made a will or not. If there is not, and seeking what we call letters of administration, LA. If the person have made a will to go and do what is appropriate, you probe the will for the court to know that the will is genuine.
Okay.
And then, so when the person died without making a will, PNDC law, first step is that let's do what we call letter of administration. The court grants you the power to share the property in accordance to PNDC law.
Okay. On that note, Eric is joining our conversation from Tema. Good morning, Eric. Thank you for calling us. What's your question?
I want to speak to Lawyer Ampa.
Right. He's listening.
Yeah. Lawyer, please. I've married for 28 years now. Actually, I'm sick. I'm a stroke patient. What you are talking, I'm married. Ordinance with 5 children. And my wife is worrying me. I want to divorce her. Even when I send the children, my wife don't want the children to go. I'm suffering. I want to, please. I'm very worried. I can't do anything. Right now, first, I can't, but now I can't. After now, I'm alone in the house. Nobody sitting beside me. Please, help me. Can I get I want to divorce with my wife. That is my problem. But marriage is ordinance. I'm married for 28 years. I'm married with her and have 3 girls, 2 boys. So when I'm sitting in front of television, I'm listening. Last week I couldn't get you, and this week I'm listening to what you are saying. I'm suffering.
Do you know something?
Eric.
I think, let me get my contact number.
Okay. Eric, Mr. Eric Tete, please.
You can call after here.
Yes, please hold on. Our producers will give you lawyer's number, and then you can call him after, and then he can advise you.
For public consumption.
Not for public consumption. I beg your pardon. So the number is 0543 664 264.
The law is that without commercializing it, all forms part of the personal effect. So if he has an iron and he uses the iron for commercialization, it's not personal effect.
Okay.
So all those things also goes to the wife and children before the remaining is shared in a formula where the wife and children will have some, the family will have some, and then if the deceased father and mother is alive, they'll have some. That's how we share it.
Okay. Nana is joining our conversation from Koforidua. Nana, thank you for calling us. Good morning. What do you want to ask the lawyer?
Please, I just want to find out from the lawyer.
Right.
My wife, I have lost my wife, and I am also childless, and I want to give up my property to one of my children. Is it necessary for me to write a will? Or is there any other legal means of giving out my properties to one of my siblings I intended to? That's my question.
One of the siblings?
Yes.
You don't have a child?
He doesn't have a child. His wife is passed.
You go to church?
Nana, do you go to church?
Yes.
A church? Do you go to church? So now,
he said yes.
That he has a free will to decide once he's alive alive. So he can give it to anybody.
Okay. And he can he can use the gifting method through here.
Method is very, very powerful. He should make a gift and then he grants this property to the siblings, and then that's the end.
Okay. So, lawyer, can you share with us some of the common disputes that arise among family members during reading of wills, property distribution, when a person dies?
Yeah, definitely. When a person dies and he makes a will, it becomes a contentious matter, because at times people are suspicious as to whether even the person made a will. So they go when there's a search and then there's an evidence that the will has been is found. The court writes to every interested party to be present at a particular time. Normally, it's the registrar of the court to be present at a particular time for it to be read in their presence. So anybody who have an interest in it is brought to the court and is read. After the reading, you can apply for a copy.
Okay.
And then with that copy, then the necessary process takes place. You do prove it, and then the executor takes over and share according to the provisions of the will.
Okay, all right. Abigail from Kumasi's Journal Conversation. Oh, we just lost Abigail. Abigail, call us back, okay? Lawyer, in the case where a person dies and family members disagree on the will, can they contest it? Yeah,
definitely. You can go to court. That's why we have the probate court. We have the court specialized in probate dispute. That's wills and everything that they're talking about. They go into the matter. So we have the right to dispute the will. But the question is that go to the court with the right questions and right inquiry mentality. Because if the will is valid, the court will grant prove it. If it is PND's law 112, you can go and contest. We have situations where people are died without making a will, and family members have taken the property over the property. They have not gone to court to seek power of attorney. You can go to the police station and report the person for intermeddling, or you can quickly sue the person in court, and the court will take over the matter that the person is engaging in intermeddling. What you need to do is that the moment the person dies, go to court and seek power for the distribution of the property.
Right. Nana, good morning. Nana is joining us from Mataheko. Good morning, Nana. What's your question for the lawyer? What's your contribution?
Okay, my question is, may the Almighty Father bless all of you for your discussion, your good discussion.
Nana, say that again.
I said that the good Lord bless all of you at the studio with them.
Amen.
I wanted to know.
God bless us.
I said I'm calling from Mataheko.
Yes. Nana, you would have to lower the volume on your TV set or position yourself better and call us back. We can barely hear you.
I've lowered it.
Right.
Hello?
We can hear you, Nana. Please speak. It does.
But then the kids are there. If I go one day, I go one. Court land, not happening now. Soften and lawyers, this and day. I want back. What to him back? Who will the same put that? It's last minute. And you now will probably be winning. No man, the new poem when I'm on boat. The children are yet to sit there. Or one back. About never. Why the woman doesn't want to enter polygamous? The man pushed her to polygamous. So one can. Lawyer for China, sure. I'm not taking that.
So
you say normally we don't enter into marriage through deceit, so it's a grounds for divorce. But where at the end of the day the man have children, but didn't disclose it, the children rights is guaranteed. It's no fault of theirs. So whatever interest they have in a man's property, they will still have those interests.
Okay. So in this case, it will be split among the two children from the separate women.
Definitely. You know, children whether born in a matrimonial wedlock or not, the right of the child is so crucial. And normally, we should not disregard the what children born out of wedlock can do. If you look at the Bible, all children born out of wedlock are great men. Yeah. Because there are circumstances, he said, that they normally don't have father love. So God steps in and provides that love for them, and they become great. So that's why our Lord doesn't want to discriminate between children born at wedlock. Listen, Once a child, always a child. And women must learn that, look, it's not me like this, but behind my wife, I had other children. And I sought my wife out. And normally when you have children, you can just compensate your wife. And then play your role in such a way that those children will not come and disturb. And also make sure that you provide for all those children. And then another day, you are free to go. Men have a problem, and men have a problem. I'm talking to Ghana men. There are some men who have children in all the regions. I have evidence. They have children in all the regions, 16 regions. But their wives, they are not aware.
We have a caller from Upper West region, one of the regions where Ghanaian men are just giving birth in. Hi, good morning. Thank you for calling us. What's your name, please?
My name is Menem Kumo.
Menem Kumo. Welcome. Thank you for calling us. What do you want to tell the lawyer, please?
I want to ask some clarifications about my marriage.
Go ahead.
Yes. Just recently, my wife for the courts, and in the court rate, it's a plot of land I have bought legally, but she's gone on to say that the land was gifted to her by her brothers. Meanwhile, I have the document. And I want more clarifications on the gift issue from lawyer Ampao.
Can you inherit debt? Can debt be termed as marital property?
Yeah, definitely. You see, when you die, it doesn't cancel your debt. So debt will follow you to the grave. That's why it's important to clear your debt before you die. So anybody who inherits, you inherit the debt. Very, very critically. So nobody shares. You see, that's why it's a warning to all family members. Even when you make a will or you don't make a will, they said the person who's making a will will say that first pay all my debt and my testamentary. So if you are preparing a will, after you identify yourself, execute your will, the first task that you give to the executor,
yes,
is that make sure that before you share my property, clear all my debt.
Okay.
And it's not a crime to owe. You know, it's not a crime to be in debt. Try and look at yourself. There are some people who are indebted to banks. They don't clear it. I have one like that. The man died. The family was so happy, thought that he has left an hotel, not knowing debt. And there are men who are living fake lives. I can tell you. There are big men. People think they have money, but full of debt. These are rich men. About 60% of our rich men, when they die, it will shock you. Debt in they attract debt because you see the bank sees them to be big. So the bank will not call some of us. They will call them. So these big names you are called, I'm telling you, they are full of debt. And they will not tell you until they die.
Okay, let's pick a call from Amasaman. Elizabeth, good morning. Thank you for calling.
Why are we doing Pacho Makachika?
Pacho Kachi, feel free.
Pacho, be brave. 1 year. But I know what Osifie now, I think Osifie in 98. And I ordered my continent here. And son all worry. Or worry, and I'll do a ban quabuchi. And I walk over, or no banako jawa, wabuchi. Ban Maya 5. The mamma to see all that. I say a quarter think for last 5 for no, and chase you. Meanwhile, my mamma so or they baby on the side of man. I found mammy at almost 30 years. And our sons was 6. And I know my mammy to know what I dance before you now. But I to think for learning Chedina. I plan about some cultural letters send mammy too. Because of the CCC.
You see the problem? The brother.
Yes. So
maybe he refused to deal with the property after his death. Maybe he didn't write a will, and also no gifts. Now, because of being this one, their side have gone to court and claimed that house is for their father.
Right.
And house that belongs to their father that belongs to the mom. The mom. You see, when you own property, you either gift it to your wife, your mom, but your mom only have share in the remaining residue, the remaining properties. So when they went to court, the evidence before the court was that the man just put the mother there as we call it. He's just there without any interest.
Okay.
So he stayed there he has the permission of the man, the son to stay. But he did not make any interest. If they have made provision for the mother, this will not happen. So the mother is a Lancisi. It's a Lancis. It owes Lancisi interest, and it can be taken away from anywhere. So it has been taken away from her, and now the children have taken control.
Yeah.
And then the children now, but it's very painful for the children to treat their grandma this way.
Yeah.
How can you tell? Look, if I were to be the grandma, I'll go to court, and you activate Section 30 of the Wills Act.
Okay, let's pick another caller. Yeah, from Lashibi. Good morning. Yeah, what do you want to ask the lawyer? Yes, please.
Okay. Please, I'm married, and then I later find out that my marriage certificate is customary marriage. And also for 18 years. We've married for 18 years. But I have now found out that my husband has gone cheating on me, giving birth to 3 children outside our married home. And then later also find out that he has another one with 1 child. So what do I do now? Since the marriage certificate is a customary one. All along I was thinking it's an ordinance marriage. I didn't even know when we got married. And so these incidents came up and I realized customary certificate. So it's like I can't take him to court for adultery or something. What do I do?
Oh, your husband is a smart man. He didn't want to engage in this issue of bigamy. So he decided to stay in the customary marriage. And with customary marriage, it's polygamous in nature. Okay. He can decide to marry as many. You are even lucky, it's 2. He can add another 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. There's no limit. If you had married another Islamic law, then it will be 4.
Yes.
But with customary, the floodgate is open to all women. So what she can do is to call the man and say, did you deceive me or I didn't understand the whole thing? Then you said, okay, fine. And now decide whether you stay with me or you move out. But the question is that, moving out now, where are you going? These days, the men are not correct. We all have issues. Okay. Every man is carrying something that you don't know. You see, like me, I sit here, I carry a lot of baggage, but you don't know. That's how life is. So don't think that your husband is the most wicked. No, please stay there and then work on your marriage. Trust in the Lord, and then you get your man. But those women that they have given birth, just tell the man that, look, it's normal, it's okay, but there should be a limit to whatever you are doing. The excesses should stop and concentrate on these children and then the limited wife. Don't go and add. And that's all.
All right. We are picking another caller from East Legon. Good morning. Thank you for calling us. What's your name, please?
Good morning. My name is David, calling from East Legon.
David, what do you want to ask the lawyer?
Yes, sorry. My father died 4 years ago. And then he died in Accra. So in the village in the East region, they didn't know he has died. So a few days I went to the village, and there's this friend that my father used to have in the village, that someone was telling me that my father bought a land with this man. It's about 2 acres of land. So each time someone wants to farm on the land, this man will always tell the person that it should come in, so the man didn't know that my father has died. So people keep telling me this. So the last time I confronted the man and told the man that my father has died. So I'm coming to find out where the land is and all those things. This man has refused to give us the land. And we don't know what to do since my father didn't tell that family.
Wow.
She was not tactful in an approach. Why do you go and disclose this thing to the man? What you should have done was to liaise with the family, so that the moment your father died, you have to go for letter of administration, and then what is going to happen is that you try to gather the assets. So in the letter of administration, you add that land. 2 acres of land in the court document to the court that, look, your father died interstate, he has this property, including that one. So therefore, the court will grant you letter of administration to be able to have possession of that person and then share. So if you have done that, then the administrator will because vetting assets, will prepare vesting assets in your name that land, after the death of your father, has been vested in you as the new owner. Then you go and approach the man that, look, my father have died, but the court has given me documents to show that I'm the owner. That one. But now you go there with nothing, come here, you go and then go and confront it that you have in the village. Give that one to your family people. Don't let them come to the property in the cities. So what you do is that give everything in the city to your children, and then let your wife be a trustee.
Okay.
And then the one in the village, they give it to the family people. So your children will just go there, but they will not go fight over property. So that the family people will concentrate in the property in the village. But if you refuse to give them, that's the mistake we do, please. Don't do. And can you imagine when these family people were sitting down there and watching and listening to the insults from the will? So that they turn their way. Then the painful thing, I will never forget. There's a Presbyterian song. Any fair, and they said they should sing it to their family people. Jesus Christ. You see, and at the end of the day, you see that the family people went and they realized that if they have known that this is the kind of will, they will not have buried the man. So let's do what is just.
Okay.
We came from a family. So when you are making a will, be tactful. Satisfy your family with something that will distract them. And then give the certain ones to your children and your wife. Then let's go.
That's all. Blair from 2nd D is joining our conversation. He's our last caller. Blair, good morning. Thank you for calling us. Oh, please, one more call. So, lawyer, one of our female callers who thought she was married under ordinance and then found out it was customary. How does that happen? How does that happen where you think you're married under ordinance and you find out it's customary? How does that happen?
I think what the husband did was that after the customary marriage, he applied to the registry for customary marriage certificate.
Oh,
no, because right now you can give certificate. You can register it. So the man decided to go and register it customarily without doing the ordinance registration. You know, the ordinance registration, that one is different. That one you either go to the church or the registrar, and then in your face they tell you that it's one wife. But this thing with the customary, the man just went and applied, and then got the woman to sign. And the certificate that was given, the one thought it was ordinance certificate, but no, it's customary law marriage certificate. And that education, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. You should have taken the document and find out from what is the implication of this thing. If you have even asked the register of marriages, they would have told you that this certificate implies A, B, C, D. So it's a lesson.
Quick lesson. Okay, so some practical legal advice here for us. What advice would you give to married couples about the importance of joint property arrangements?
I think that everybody should go into marriage with this mind that, look, we are here for a while and we will leave, but let's settle in such a way that every property that we have, let's give it to the next generation. So the man and woman should always come out and do joint will. Jointly we give our properties to our children, so that at the end of the day there's nothing to contest when we die, or we make a will, we make a joint gift to our children. And then, you know, at times in life you don't know who will go first. First I thought I will leave before my first wife, because anytime we are having conversation, he tells me who back or but at that time when I was chilling, you know, that lawyer, I was moving here and there, I was not sitting at home. Then my wife looked at me and said, that will be back or let me be chillier, not knowing.
She was going.
Yeah.
So that's exactly 4 years, 2 years.
Because of these things, we have to be very careful and make sure that we let our children benefit. Please don't give anything to your side chick. And then don't give anything to the church too. Don't give. There are people, there's a will. The man have given almost 90% of the property to the church.
Can the family contest it?
Yes.
The family can contest it?
No, you can't contest it. It's a will. You see, why do you give it to a church? And the church, who is the church? Jesus Christ will not come and take those property. You are giving it to the founder and the few trustees who are going to enjoy proper. Please, if that, give it to charity. Go and give it to charity, or give it to the states for all Ghanaians to benefit.